So I've been wanting to do this video for a while now. However, there's been so much going on with me internally that it's made it difficult. Between outside world distractions and internal fear and negative self-talk, I've been going through like a major transformation, and I've been trying to speak through my videos, especially because I'm not I'm not a podcaster. I leave that to the professionals. I am not an editor. I learned how to, put a few things together on YouTube. So I'm not an editor. And I just love music. I love art. I love expression. And I express myself a whole lot better when it's through art. I'm pretty good at articulating my emotions, but I can articulate it a lot better through art. So when you see my videos, those videos are passion from me. Those come from my heart. They come from my mind. It's like me allowing a mini tour through my mind and through my heart, because I definitely pull those videos directly from my experiences, from my thoughts, my heart, my mind, everything included. However, I started this channel so I can be able to connect with other people who deal with things like agoraphobia and severe anxiety attacks, PTSD, depression, things of that nature. A lot of people will listen to the diagnosis and they'll let that get the best of them. They'll put somebody in a box and they'll judge you if you have multiple, diagnoses. Not understanding these diagnoses has absolutely nothing to do with your intellect. Your intellect and your diagnosis, in my case, they do not go hand in hand. My diagnosis absolutely comes from multiple traumatic things that I have gone through from childhood to date. And because of agoraphobia, because of anxieties, because of, being agoraphobic, you watch a lot of TV. And you watch a lot of TV so you can try to connect with people, because it feels like the only way that you're kind of getting outside and connecting with people. So for me, you watch a lot of different channels that brings out different emotions out of you. And I've just been going through a lot lately as far as how transparent I feel I need to be in order for people to really understand that I'm sure there are people out there just like me who are going through the exact same things. You do not want to speak up, like myself, and I'm not interested in being attacked because of my traumas. It's hard enough for me to come on here and be transparent as I'm comfortable being. And it just so happens that now I am finally in a position to where I can be transparent enough that's going to make me feel like I'm taking my life back. Because when you deal with agoraphobia, yes, it does feel like your life is being stolen from you. It feels like you're in a mental prison and life is moving around you, and every day you are literally living pretty much the same day every day. You wake up and every day is exactly the same. It's really weird, and it's crippling. It can be so crippling that your situation can be intense like mine, to where there were times I did not leave my house for years. Months. Usually months for me is pretty normal. I can be in the house for months. And when I say months and being in the house, I mean not stepping foot outside of the door. Completely being in the house. And 9 times out of 10, I'm in my room when I'm in the house. So when I speak about my story, let me start by saying I beg you to not judge me, because when I speak about my own life story, I'm kind of all over the place, and I'll get my timelines messed up. I'll jump from a child to an adult. I'll mix up some of the situations, and I am in counseling, and I'm being worked on, to try to get these things in order, as far as timeline and things like that, because when you bury your trauma, it all kind of feels jumbled up together. So it's hard to, unpack it all. But once you're ready to do that, it's a lot of work. And when I say it's a lot of work, let me give you a little bit of an idea. When I found out that I had agoraphobia, my initial reaction was I started crying. Never heard of agoraphobia. I had no idea what it was. It just sounded terminal to me. So I started crying immediately until the doctor explained to me what it was. I'm not sure if that was supposed to make me feel better, but it did not. And what happened was I became obsessed with researching agoraphobia, the different levels of it. How does it start? I am a habitual researcher. Anything that's said to me, anything I come across that resonates with me, I'm going to research it until I cannot research it anymore. So actually every day in a little bit of a way, for all of these years, even up to date, I still research agoraphobia. I'm still trying to figure it out. So it's really weird to me when people actually have like definitions for what it is, because I live with this and I have no idea what this is that I live with every day. For those of us who live with like especially extreme anxieties and like social anxieties, you know how it feels to stand on the other side of the door and you want to open that door. You're ready, you're dressed, your hand is extended, you just completely shut down, and you go back in your room, and then you feel defeated. And now you're depressed for like days or weeks because you feel completely defeated. When you cannot step outside your door because of agoraphobia or because of anxieties, it makes you feel defeated as a person. And it just puts you in a really bad place. So what happened was, for me, and I'll keep it pretty light and short. So at the beginning, first of all, I don't even know where to start. My traumas began in my childhood, right through my time in the military, right through today. And I'm trying to make sure it doesn't control moving forward. That's my goal. And it's more than a goal. That is my mission. And when I have a mission, I am unstoppable. And so I will not quit until I gain back control of my life. It was very traumatic the way that I found out that I had agoraphobia. Coming out of the military, I have so many different traumatic situations. I'm going to have to break those down individually, but I'm just giving the overall right now because I know sometimes if you watch my videos and, nowadays on, this YouTube and the internet itself, everybody's used to someone being on camera or, having big productions, and I'm just a plain person. I'm not an editor. I'm not a podcaster. So it all started, like I said again, I'm all over the place. So if I lose you and, my videos does not resonate with you, I completely understand. I am a Pisces, so when I speak, I am all over the place. Usually, it's very unfortunate, but usually I have great conversations with Pisces because I'm all over the place and so are they. But usually with everyone else, it's kind of hard to keep up. But please bear with me, but I do understand if it gets annoying, you have to click off the video. I do understand that. But this is for those who can actually resonate with what I'm talking about. So at the beginning, first of all, I don't even know where to start. My traumas began in my childhood, right through my time in the military, right through today. And I'm trying to make sure it doesn't control moving forward. That's my goal. And it's more than a goal. That is my mission. And when I have a mission, I am unstoppable. And so I will not quit until I gain back control of my life. It was very traumatic the way that I found out that I had agoraphobia. Coming out of the military, I have so many different traumatic situations. I'm going to have to break those down individually, but I'm just giving the overall right now because I know sometimes if you watch my videos and, nowadays on, this YouTube and the internet itself, everybody's used to someone being on camera or, having big productions, and I'm just a plain person. I'm not an editor. I'm not a podcaster. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a female. I am seasoned. When I say seasoned, I am not ashamed of my age. I am 50 years old. I just turned 50 years old this year. And I identify with being a survivor of multiple traumas, multiple different areas, different time frames, different levels, to the point to where all of it combined led to agoraphobia. It led me to not feel safe anywhere except in my own home. I've gone through a lot, and you have to really just think about it. You have to really feel unsafe to go to those extremes. I am looking for a specific demographic, a demographic of people who, if you've been depressed and you've had to suffer through it alone, I'm here to connect with those people. If you have anxieties and you go through it, no one understands you. You're picked on, you're judged, you feel unheard. That's the demographic that I'm looking to connect with. The demographic of people who go through PTSD, be it the military or not. I can really resonate with the military side since I am a veteran. a Navy veteran to be specific. And I definitely am on here to connect with those who live with agoraphobia. And I'm on here more so for those who live with agoraphobia because, like I said, I didn't even know what this was until I was diagnosed with it. And it's a 50-50 feeling. 50% of it, you get emotional in a good way because now it makes sense, you know. When your medical team breaks it down for you, at least it helps you understand you're not just going through something random, you know, that you can't explain. You know, when you freak out, when you have an anxiety attack, you know, people don't get to anymore judge you as crazy or over the top or any of that. Anxiety is a real thing. When you have panic attacks that can land you in the hospital, that's a real thing. You know, I'm looking to connect with people like this. People who are judged, people who are unheard, people who are misunderstood. But those who live with agoraphobia, this is on another level. And I don't think that enough of us out here are trying hard enough to connect with one another. It's fine for everybody to have their own channel. That would be fantastic. The more channels, the better. That way we have a bigger community to move around and support each other and really, really connect, you know, help one another. I'm just being transparent. This is unscripted. It's from my heart. But when I'm speaking of my story, it has to be unscripted. It has to just come from me. I have to be transparent about it. Maybe the volume is not right. Maybe, you know, the levels. I do get messages, you know, giving me suggestions about the editing for my videos. As everyone knows, I do hold all comments because I strive to have a platform to where if we can help it, we can alleviate the bullying, because we go through enough. The last thing we need is to get bullied because of our traumas. That's so, I just don't understand that, but apparently that exists. And I just want to do my part to make the environment as safe as possible, because these are real life experiences. These things make us vulnerable. These things, it is terrifying to put these things out in the world to be judged. But we have to come to a time to where we just can't care, you know? I just don't care. No one can tell me anything about my life and my life experiences. No one. I'm not like a content creator who has to say allegedly about anything, because this is literally my life and my experiences, all facts. I do not fabricate. You will see I am a straight shooter. You know, I'm going to be transparent about myself, my life, my experiences, everything. And I do know it will reach the right individuals. I do know, even if I don't care if we never make comments on my videos. I don't care if every communication that I get is via email in the background. This is not for show, this is for healing. So I'm one of those people, I can turn all the comments off for all I care and communicate in the background. I am a background person. I do not like to be in the limelight. I'm not one of those people who thrive when it comes to a million people watching them. I'm actually the total opposite. Very quiet, very private, very to myself. I'm an introvert. It doesn't help that I'm agoraphobic, because I'm definitely to myself on a whole different level. But when people see the title of my channel, Agoraphobia Healing, they automatically, you know, feel, oh, I don't resonate with that. You know, some people can look at it and don't even know what it is. And some people can know what it is and say, oh, well, I don't resonate with that. There's so much that comes with agoraphobia that people do resonate with. You don't have to have agoraphobia. You can have depression. You can have anxieties, PTSD. Those things, you know, I can't tell it to you like in the medical terminology. You know, I'm not medical staff. I'll say 1,000 times, I suggest you always speak to your doctors about absolutely everything. I speak to my doctors about everything. I'm 100% transparent with my doctors about anything and everything. I have nothing to lose. I have nothing to gain except freedom. And I suggest that for everyone. So when it comes down to agoraphobia, I went to the emergency room one night. I had been in the house for a while. I had severe abdominal pains that just came out of nowhere. But I did not want to go to the hospital because I did not want to leave the house. So my kids wound up calling an ambulance, which for whatever reason I just freaked out and flipped out. I did not want to get in the ambulance, but got in the ambulance, got to the emergency room. I'm trying to remember. Got in the emergency room. I just remember not being able to breathe. I remember not being able to get my thoughts in order. And let me clear that up, because when you say stuff like not being able to get your thoughts in order, people right away think you're crazy. I am not crazy. Let me say that for all of the wonderful people in the background who kind of raise your eyebrow when you hear that someone has different, mental health diagnosis. I do not even like using the word, but please understand, it is so derogatory to label someone with crazy or think for 1 second if someone has any kind of, mental health diagnosis that, okay, if you're depressed, you're crazy. If you have anxiety attacks, you're crazy. If you come out the military and you have PTSD, oh, you're definitely crazy. Oh, you can't leave your house? Oh, you're crazy for sure. I disagree with all of those things. Me, myself, I am not crazy at all. I pride myself with having intellect. I pride myself with knowing how to articulate myself. I'm no scholar. I'm no teacher. I'm no guru. I'm none of those things. I am just one individual who has been diagnosed with all of these things. I have been secluded in my room for over 5 years, trying to figure all of this stuff out, trying to be a parent while I'm figuring these things out. Okay, so let me try to figure out the last thing that I was talking about. Let me just go back to agoraphobia. I'll get distracted again later. So, in the hospital, I was freaking out in the hospital. Why? Because I was freaking out in the ambulance. I was freaking out before I got there. I did not want to be there. I was in a lot of pain. Then I had a doctor who, his bedside manner was horrible. He must have been having a terrible day. And he was speaking to me so rude. And because he was rude and I was already vulnerable, he brought out the fire in me. So things just didn't go well at that point, because at that point it was a lot of, I just shut down, I just shut down. I was hollering and screaming. They sent a on-duty psychiatrist to talk to me. And that is where it all actually began. I wish I could say his name, because that man changed my life. He changed my life. He changed my life. He was the kindest person. He was so kind. He was so understanding. I don't even remember our whole conversation. I know now that at that time I was having a complete full-blown panic attack, and sometimes I remember the details, sometimes I don't. They get a little sketchy. Sometimes my kids have to remind me of what happened. Sometimes I remember. But he was the nicest person like ever. And I do remember telling him that you should go home and tell your wife what a great person you are. I wish I could tell your wife what a great person you are. And he changed my life. He did a referral for me so I can go ahead and start counseling. He referred me to a trauma center. And the first year was a complete breakdown for me. I hit rock bottom in every sense of the way. I hit rock bottom, especially because I decided that I was going to be 100% about this dedication to me. I used to drink. I quit drinking because I needed to finally face everything and not bury it. And I wanted to do that work without the drinking. It's been hard. It's been hard. It's been long. You know, that in vivo therapy, reliving things. You guys know what I'm talking about that have been through that kind of therapy. It is absolutely torture. That's what I used to tell my therapist. This feels like torture. To have to relive it and then tell it over and over and over until you get used to it, and until you don't react to it. It is torture at the beginning. So if you go through that kind of therapy, for anyone who's just starting that kind of therapy and it feels like torture and you feel like giving up from the very first session, it is so draining. It is so emotional. You feel like you are really breaking down. And for me, at least, you stay in bed for a few days because you just had to face so much. It's a lot. You do not see the light of day. Every time you have that kind of therapy, you question why you're in therapy, because it just feels like pain over and over. It just doesn't feel like you're getting better. It actually feels like you're getting worse. Nightmares start coming. You can't sleep. The insomnia start coming. You isolate even more. Your prison goes from the house to your room, from your room to your bed. It just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And it is absolutely crippling. It is crippling. For months, I used to cancel many appointments. I couldn't even do the therapy. But if you are going through that, please hang in there. I don't know how long it'll take you for it to get better. It took me about a year. I had to hang in there for about a year. And that's actually just to, get used to opening up, trusting. At first I did not even want to trust my therapist. I did not want to trust my doctor. I didn't want to trust anyone. And it took me at least a year to just open up. They had to extend my trauma treatment 6 more months because it took me about a year to open up. So there's so many different things, traumas in the military, things that I buried, I never got the opportunity to deal with, things I've witnessed, things I've endured. it's a lot to unpack. But let me tell you guys something out there who are going through agoraphobia. First and foremost, everybody probably said, oh yeah, I know how you feel. But you guys know, and I know, people can say that, and they could want to know how you may feel. But they do not know how you feel. They don't. They may have compassion, empathy, but look, guys, it's time. It's time. I say that because, for the longest, I've wanted to relocate to Costa Rica. I've had that envision for a while now. But it was just that. It was a vision. I couldn't walk outside my front door. And when I do, I can not go any further than about a mile out comfortably. Once I go outside of that mile, my daughter, someone has to be with me. And so imagine if you can't open your front door. I don't go to the end of my driveway to get the mail. So if you can't go to the end of your driveway to get the mail, how in the world are you going to relocate to another country by yourself, don't speak the language, with agoraphobia, with anxieties? I mean, how? It was in my mind. I just knew I wanted to do it. And I was researching. I have watched thousands of YouTube videos on relocating to Costa Rica. And it was just a vision for me. I don't know where the strength is going to come from for me to relocate. But I can tell you one thing. After everything that I've gone through, after being silent for so long, I mean, when I say alone, I'm alone. Yes, I do have kids. They're all adults. I'm not in a relationship. I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, June 1st, 2024, I will be relocating to Costa Rica. I've been all over the internet trying to see if I can connect with any kind of community out there, especially because, I don't like to do the woman thing or the race thing, but the facts are the facts. I am moving out there single. I am a female. I am a single black female. I am 50 years old. I'm retired. I'm not interested in working out there. This channel is a passion for me. This channel is community based. This is something that others who go through this, they understand that this is not easy to do. This is not fun. This is not something that's fun for me. To relive stuff, to share these stories, to be as transparent as I'm comfortable being. This is not fun. It's not easy. But it is necessary for me. I don't know why. I don't even care why. I just know my purpose. I just know what I need to do. I need to connect with others because the pain that I have endured for years, I know there are people out there sitting in their rooms enduring this pain. I know it. I know there's people out there like me who doesn't really have family. I've gone no contact with my entire family. Right around the same time, I walked away from my 6-year relationship. Right around the same time, I quit drinking. Right around the same time, I was diagnosed with agoraphobia. Right around this, I can go on and on. When I say I hit rock bottom, I hit absolute rock bottom. I could not take care of myself mentally, physically, financially. My kids were the ones taking care of me. And I'm even going to be transparent about that. I have nothing that I cannot openly and willingly take accountability for. And someone needs to hear this. Someone out there is sitting in their room just like me, and they feel all of this, and they're not able to say it. I felt all of this for years and not able to say it. After all of the lessons and all the trauma, all the good and all the bad, I absolutely will not even entertain, anything foolish. I won't. It's like I'm so zeroed in on my life at this point to where I will not allow anything around me that just does not resonate with how I see my life now in this moment and moving forward. I will not, I have healthy boundaries. That's up for me. For other people, not so much, but it's up. My healthy boundaries are for me. And at the end of the day, it's like, I know exactly what I want. I want to get my life back. That's happening. I want to relocate to the beautiful island of Costa Rica. That's happening. I had to pull myself away from editing for a few days to get that ball rolling. I'm actually getting the ball rolling. Like I actually have a date. I actually have a immigration attorney. I actually have in mind that I'm definitely going to be connecting with. I actually have a concierge service that I will be working with, who caters to someone like me, who will give me assistance. Things like pick me up at the airport, finding, a condo for me before I even get there. Just helping me with everything. And they stick by your side for a month until you get settled. I mean, I cannot even believe that I found this company. It just found me. But of course I know it's divinely guided, because it literally just fell in my lap. And it is the perfect service for someone like me who, I have to get out this house. I have to get out this house. But the problem is, being in the location that I'm at, I know it's outside. I already know the area. There's nothing new. Everything around me reminds me of something, of someone. Costa Rica is a fresh start for me. I don't know anyone. I don't know anywhere. I don't even know the language. I've never been there. Everything is going to be brand spanking new for me. The whole experience from, no, I've never been there. No, I'm not going on a scouting trip. Someone like me who has severe anxieties and severe agoraphobia, I have to do a one-stop, make a decision and make it happen. I can't go back and forth trying to figure it out. That does not work for an individual like me. So I've made my decision. I have my date set. Now I'm just putting it all together, making it all happen behind the scenes like I do everything else. And, I've been in the best mood lately, as much as I can be. And when I say as much as I can be, I would love to be in a better mood, but I would have to be outside to do that. And for someone who deals with severe agoraphobia like me, the outside has to have a gravitational pull for me to want to go out there. And where I live at, I just don't have that. I don't feel that gravitational pull. I want to be able to look out my window and just see beautiful landscape. I want it to be so inviting that there are no fears, or no, let me don't say none, because that's unrealistic. I will be able to manage my fears. I will be able to hopefully overcome my fears one day. But outside would be so beautiful, so calm. A lot of people complain about how laid back Costa Rica is. But for someone like me, it is perfect. I am about to go out and try to mingle, which is something I have not done in years and years. But I'm actually going to go out and mingle. I have a few places in mind. And so now I want to end this recording and go change my mood. I hope you guys are really enjoying my videos. These are videos that I make that before I post it, I have to test it. And I test it kind of weird. I'll make a video. I will literally have to wait until I have an anxiety attack and see if that video changes my mood. If it doesn't, I will not post the video. I have tons of videos I had deleted because it didn't do anything for me. The videos that I post, they literally change my mood. When I do an exposure therapy or step outside the house, when I come back inside, that's the reason why I made the new goals, because I do feel like partying when I come back inside. It's such a win for me. I don't want to walk back in the house and just get bored. I feel like celebrating. It's a big win for me to walk out that door. And I know it's other people out there like that. This is for us, because we deserve to celebrate. We deserve wins. And collectively, who knows? Maybe I'll inspire someone else to move out to Costa Rica, another agoraphobic, and who knows? I mean, like I said, it's a question mark. Anything can happen. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you in the next video. Stay strong. For those of you who have agoraphobia, stay strong. We're getting out the house. We are getting out of the house. One day at a time, we're getting out of the house. We're not taking this anymore. I don't care how small I don't care if we start with the mailbox. I know no one else understands that, but you do. I don't care if goal number 1 is to step outside the door, take a breath of fresh air, and step back in. And that's goal number 1. But it's a lot. But I hear you. I feel you. I understand you. I am you. I promise.